Hi everyone, I'm Joanna. You should know me by now, and if you don't, then we've got an issue because I've done so many videos on here. You should definitely know my face. And if you don't, go back and watch all of the skincare nerds prior to this. Today we're going to talk about AHAs, which you might have already heard on the exfoliation video, but we're going to touch a little bit more on AHAs and exactly what they do. Also, I've mixed up my hairstyle today because I promised that I would do a different hairstyle, and then I realized I'd done all of the same, like my hair looked exactly the same in the last 3 videos. I've tried to mix it up again. So let's get into AHAs, or alpha hydroxy acids, as you might remember from the exfoliation video. So these are chemical compounds that can either be naturally occurring or synthetic, and they're mainly known for their exfoliation properties, but they do have some other benefits as well. But first, let's discuss the different types of AHAs. So the most popular one that you'll see is glycolic acid, closely followed by lactic acid, but there are a couple of others like citric, malic, and mandelic, which are not as well researched, but you definitely will find them within other skincare products. Since we're going to talk about glycolic and lactic as the main two AHAs, let's find out what the difference is between them. So your glycolic acid, which you'll find in something like liquid gold, has a smaller molecular size, so that can actually penetrate the skin deeper, which is great for encouraging the penetration of other ingredients that you apply afterwards. But it also means that it can increase the risk of irritation. So it's great at smoothing out texture and reducing uneven skin tone, but there is that risk if you overuse it that you might irritate the skin or break down the skin's barrier. So that's where lactic acid comes in. So lactic acid has a larger molecular weight, so that doesn't penetrate the skin as deeply. So it is a little bit gentler on more sensitive skin types, and it's great for dry skin types as well. So glycolic acid not only has a resurfacing and exfoliating effect on the skin, but it also encourages collagen production. So it's actually a great anti-aging ingredient as well, which a lot of people don't realize. So the reason that lactic acid is a bit better for dry and sensitive skin types is because it actually has the ability to increase the production of ceramides in the skin, which is moisturizing on the skin surface. So it is really good for dry and sensitive skin types, and it's a little bit gentler as well. So probably a better option than your glycolic. There isn't really any skin types that can't use an AHA because you could always opt for a gentler version of AHA. So a mandelic acid or a lactic acid is more suitable for sensitive skins, but that's really the only skin type that might struggle with introducing an AHA. Just be wary of that if you do have sensitive skin or really dry skin or an impaired barrier, because introducing an acid to a skin like that could be a little bit irritating, but maybe opt for something like a lactic to start with. So you might be wondering, what is the difference between AHAs and BHAs? Because we did mention that in our exfoliation video, which you can go back and watch for some of my favorite AHA and BHA products. The AHAs are water soluble, while your BHAs, which you'll find as salicylic acid in your products, are oil soluble. So these work to break down oil within the pores, exfoliating that inner wall of the pores. So they work really well for treating acne concerns and congestion. So acids are quite stimulating on the skin. As we mentioned about glycolic acid, it can be a little bit irritating on some skin types. So I do recommend starting off slowly once or twice a week with something like a glycolic acid. It does depend on the percentage and the exact product that you're using, but generally 1 to 2 times a week to start off with is a good balance because you don't want to dry out the skin or impair the barrier. Now, this is a question that we get all the time here. Can you mix retinol with AHAs, and can you mix vitamin C with AHAs? Now, this is purely a personal opinion. My opinion is no, purely because they are quite stimulating ingredients individually, and then layering those together might increase your risk of irritation. However, if you're already doing that, you're already mixing your retinol with your AHA and your vitamin C, and you're not having any issues, or those ingredients might all come together in the one product and they're actually formulated together, keep doing it. If it's not presenting an issue for you, I don't see why you would need to stop. But my personal opinion is that each of them are really stimulating on their own. Vitamin C I would generally use in the morning, and then use your AHAs and your retinol on alternating nights, just so that you're not layering them on top of each other, and that should keep your skin relatively happy. I'm not into it. James Vivian does retinol and AHAs. Yeah, no, I'd burn my face off for sure. My face would all peel off. Like, I can use even a low strength retinol and my face peels off. Another consideration to take into account when you're introducing an AHA into your routine is your skin's sensitivity to the sun. So much like retinol, which we spoke about in that vitamin A video that we did, these ingredients can increase your skin's photosensitivity, which means its sensitivity to the sun. It is imperative that you wear a broad spectrum sunscreen every single day when you're using an AHA in your routine, That doesn't mean that you're using a SPF because you're using a glycolic acid in the morning. It's like any time in your routine. It doesn't matter. It just generally makes your skin more sensitive to the sun. So you always need to be wearing an SPF, even in winter. I don't want to hear any excuses. So if you're using those ingredients and you're like, yeah, I'm using those anti-aging ingredients, and then you're not wearing sunscreen, you're likely just causing more damage to your skin. So you need an SPF. Please get one if you're not already using one. So this...
Love that.
Love that for me. Can you just not flush the toilet upstairs on level 1, please? Now to how to introduce an AHA into your routine and how to use it. So we've talked about introducing it slowly, using it 1 to 2 times a week, and then you can build up if you feel you need to. I generally use an AHA once or twice a week. So that's kind of been my routine for a really long time. So I don't feel the need to use an AHA any more than that. But you might find if you have oilier skin or you've got drier skin and you're wanting to resurface it, that you introduce a lower strength AHA on a daily basis or something like that. So using an AHA and how you use it really depends on the individual formula. So they come in cleansers, serums, cream suspensions, all kinds of different textures and formulas. So it really does depend on what formula you're using. So I would definitely check the instructions on the back for how you're meant to use that product and where it sits within your routine. So Alpha H Liquid Gold, for example, is a toner texture. So you would apply that down on your skin first, and then you would follow that with any serums, or you can use it as an intensive treatment. Whereas something like Cosmetics Defy, which has a more creamy texture, might be layered over a HA serum, and that will help buffer the product as well if you find that it's a little bit too strong for your skin, or you just like to use it as part of a wider routine and you don't want to use it as an intensive overnight treatment. So that's kind of how you would introduce them. Kind of probably made that sound more complicated than it actually is. But basically, moral of the story, just check the directions on the back of the label, and that should pretty much explain where it sits in your routine. Yay, this is always my favorite part. Some of my favorite AHA products. So let's start with Liquid Gold. I've already spoken about this, and we spoke about it in the exfoliation episode as well. So Liquid Gold has got your glycolic acid in it, which helps to resurface the skin. And then you've also got silk proteins and licorice extract, which helps to brighten the skin while retaining moisture levels in the skin. So it doesn't dry it out, but it does help with texture and clarity. I'm gonna have a wild guess and say 56. Can you confirm? Well, the rose is 62 and the regular is 50. I mean, I just use the rose because that's what I was given as a gift. So I would still use the regular one. They're basically the same. Honestly, I didn't really notice that much of a difference in the results, but that's just me. Alrighty, now to the Murad Replenishing Multi-Acid Peel. Now this contains a number of AHAs and BHAs. So it's got salicylic acid, malic acid, tranexamic acid. Those acids work really well together for treating congestion, resurfacing the skin, but tranexamic acid is great for treating pigmentation. So this is also really good for brightening and lightening the skin. So definitely a good option for anyone with aging concerns and uneven skin tone concerns, but also congestion as well, because it's got that salicylic acid component too. You might be able to tell from this bottle that the liquid kind of separates here. It's got barrier supporting oils and extracts in it. It helps to stop the skin from drying out. Peel, I guess, is kind of their way of saying like it's gonna resurface the skin, but you definitely will not get that peeling like you would with an actual proper professional chemical peel. Okay. That's for sure. It's definitely not that strong, so don't panic. Now on to the bargain product of the day. It is the Ordinary's Lactic Acid plus HA. This comes in a 5% and a 10% version. Yep. Oh. Thanks. Sorry about that. Wrong way round. I should know better. I'm a professional. So this lactic acid serum also contains Tasmanian pepperberry, which is known to reduce inflammation. So that's a great ingredient to accompany lactic acid because it reduces any irritation that is sometimes associated with exfoliation. Plus, it's only $12.70, so it's a great option to introduce into your routine if you're just wanting to see how your skin tolerates AHAs before you invest in something more expensive. Some other great AHA products that I really like in my routine are the SkinCeuticals Glycolic Renewal Cleanser, ASAP Liquid Platinum, and the Delumiere Aesthetic Glycolic 20% Oily Skin Solution. Was that right?
No.
It's some jumble of those words. That's my favorite for Hannah because she really likes that product. So I don't have oily skin, but for oily skin, that is a great AHA product. So there you have it. That's AHAs. I hope that explained everything. And if you have any other questions about AHAs, you can always leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And I'd love to know what your favorite AHAs in your routine are. I'm sure a few of you will be saying Liquid Gold because that is a cult product. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to see more videos from us. But that's it for Skincare Nerds today. So I will see you next time. Why is someone from Canada calling me? I kind of want to answer it to see who it is. Hello?
Hello. This call is from the Investigation Division of Department of Home Affairs. There is a legal case being filed under your name, as your identity is being used for several illegal activities. There is an arrest warrant issued under your name as well.
I've got an arrest warrant.
Talk to a federal officer from the Department of Home Affairs. Press 1 now.
No, thank you. I'm in the middle of something.